Hello, beautiful peoples of the interwebs. What is up? It's your host with the most icy hair, and today is a very special day. I'm doing an interview with Avarem. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Without further ado, here it is. Okay, hello Avarem. How are you today?
Hey, doing well.
It's been about a year since we last talked, and the game was only in alpha at that point. So how about you tell the viewers just who you are for if they don't know, and how the game's progressed since that time.
Sure, yeah. So I go by Avarem, on the forums and everywhere online. My name is Andrew Krausnick. I am the lead developer of Trove, and yeah, the game has been in the public eye for about, I guess, 15 or 16 months now. We went to open beta a couple months ago, which means it's free to play, and it acts a lot like release. Like, we're not going to wipe any data at this point. Anything you get, you keep. So it's pretty much a live game. Outside of a few things, like we really want to improve our UI and stuff like that before we are fully launched. So,
yeah, the game's definitely come a long way. I've been playing since I think December of 2013, I want to say, and I've been really impressed with a lot of the stuff you've done.
Thanks. Yeah, no, the game is very far from where we started. Obviously, like, even when we were in alpha, we launched really, really early. You could basically do a few core things, and that was it. You can build, you can kind of fight things, you can get some loot. But now you can like fly and you can garden and you can raid and craft and make tomes and do all sorts of stuff. Have pets, collect mounts.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff. It's really a full game where it's at, and I'm definitely excited for the future. So some of the things that I think would be really awesome, one of the ideas I thought of was possibly like an achievement system, like in World of Warcraft, let's say, if you're familiar with how you get achievements for certain things, maybe it could tie into mastery, and you get, like, after a certain amount of points, maybe you would get, like, an item or mastery rank. Do you have any plans for a system like that?
Yeah, I like the idea of that. So we have passive stats now, right? So we have something like kind of a piece of that. So if you type /stats right now, it's kind of hidden. You can see how many blocks you've mined. You can see how many times you've died. You can see how many times you've been rezzed. A few other fun things in there. So we're going to start expanding that over time, potentially using that to unlock things in the game. So potentially like achievements or maybe new recipes, stuff like that.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something cool. Another thing that seems like it needs a little work, I know you mentioned that you want to do a lot with the UI, is like the organization of the way your friends are viewed or the clubs are viewed, maybe like you could have chat windows and stuff specific, kind of like Rift or other MMOs. Do you think that we'll see something like that?
Oh, definitely see chat tabs, for sure. And some other, like, the whole UI is just getting a complete pass. Visually, functionally, it's fine, it works, but we think we can do a lot better. And we are. So that is on the way. It's being worked on as we speak, outside of this very room.
Definitely, I can't wait to see that. So let's talk a little bit more about clubs. They're pretty good how they are, but what is going to be the goal of clubs, like, and how do you plan to do it?
Sure. So there's a few things we want to do. We want to expand what you can build there. We want to add more mechanics, more functionality, things like portals, like within club worlds, like you can teleport around, ways for you to make more mini games. And then on top of that, we just want to make them better and easier to use. We want to make it more accessible, how to assign different permissions for different zones. We want to make it so you can assign a zone to a single person if you want to, so they can own an area of your world and build there. We really just want to expand the functionality, expand what you can do. We also want to promote kind of some more adventuring connection to it. So we did something this patch. We added the Sky Realm, and there's a portal to the Sky Realm, and it can only be placed in club worlds. It's really expensive to craft, and you can only use it if you're a member of that club. And what we want to start doing is providing sort of these ways to upgrade your club that's sort of more of a group effort. Sure, you can do it as a solo player, but we want to provide group objectives. Oh, it costs like 500 fairy dust, which is a lot of fairy dust. But if you get some people together and you go slaughter fairies, it takes a lot less time. And then you can pool your resources, you can craft that thing. We're not going to do a lot of that. We want the majority of the game to feel pretty accessible to solo players or people who don't want to join a club. And you can do all of this solo even if you don't want to join a club. However, we do want to make there be some bigger objectives and big unlocks. So every so often, we're going to add things like this portal that are those big type of objectives.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that it really does feel a lot more oriented to actually do stuff with your club and adventure and things like that. I personally been having a lot of fun going to the Radiant Ruins and doing those timed events, just completely owning them with my club members. And I'm sure they are enjoying playing with us a lot more too. So yeah, that seems pretty good for clubs. I definitely look forward to the future of those. Let's talk a little bit about the mastery system too. I know that was implemented a while back. Is it ever gonna have a limit?
No, it never ends. So basically, our goal is to keep the mastery max rank at about 80% of the total possible mastery in the game. So obviously, the total number between available and max will increase over time with that type of idea. Um, so it'll stay about as hard as it is to do right now. Our goal is whenever we increase it for it to be really hard. And then obviously we don't increase it for a couple patches. It gets easier because we keep adding new content. People have some time to get up to the max point, and then we increase it again, and there's a new goal point. So we're really going to keep that. We do want to make sure that adventuring power, bug mastery, for example, caps out. And actually, we think that's going to be where it is right now at 100. So we're going to stop giving more adventuring power, at least the same way we do right now. We kind of want to change how we do rewards after 100, and that's something we're working on the design of right now.
So what kind of rewards could a player expect as they progress past 100?
I will flip it on you because we were working on the design. I actually don't know yet. What kind of rewards would you like to see past 100?
I think some cool rewards would be possibly more things like how people get special colored names in chat, maybe just besides gold, like maybe a selectable system. Do you have anything in mind like that? Because I know you just implemented red.
We did. I really like names being really special, and right now the names are really special. So I don't think we'll ever have one that you unlock permanently, at least not easily. It would be very, very, very hard. Like, they are some of the most special things in our game. For people listening who may or may not know, your name in chat can change colors. It is green if you're a dev. That's probably the hardest one to get in game right now. It's gold if you have max mastery, and obviously we increase max mastery over time, so you have to stay at max or you don't have a gold name anymore. And with this last patch, we had red names, and a red name there's a new thing called a heartophone, which is a consumable item on the store, high premium price, and you get to broadcast your name, less than 3 heart, someone else's name, a friend of yours who's online. So not only does that message go to everyone currently playing the game, but your target also gets a red name for 24 hours, showing that, someone hearts them.
Yeah, I definitely like that one. It's something kind of exclusive, hard to get. I guess some other cool things would be probably more like maybe an exclusive ally, or maybe some more mounts, or maybe even a costume that you can get from just playing the game for a long time.
Doing that. Yeah, we'll definitely keep putting those on there, and costumes and stuff like that. Costumes could show up. And like, we have a couple empty slots right now. One of those is going to be a boat. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so those are our goals. We're going to do cosmetic, and we're kind of figuring out what else we might put in there. We've got a few ideas, but we're definitely still working on that.
All right, cool. So going back to the colored names real fast, I know you said you want to keep them kind of like really, really special. Do you think that like maybe just for club chats to distinguish between like maybe officers and regular members, we can have different colors in our club chat, maybe with a future update?
I think usually people know who the officers are, but I'll think about it. It's good thought.
Well, I know like in bigger clubs, it definitely helps like for people to stand out who have a different colored name, like they're more recognized than other people, and it just helps to make things a little more organized. But I'm sure when you redo the chat systems, that will definitely...
For, like, pretty much the farther future, but like icons in chat next to player names, or like emojis in chat seems like a fun idea. These are kind of the ideas you never know if you're going to get to in development, but stuff we've kicked around.
Yeah, I'm sure that you guys have a lot more cool stuff planned, but I'm sure that also the organization of the chat UI will probably help a lot with maybe some of the clutter in chat as it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We need different colored greens for different different clubs, for sure. And we want chat tabs and stuff like that. That's definitely pretty high up on the priority list.
Okay, cool. That definitely sounds cool. So you mentioned boats a few minutes ago, and I guess that leads us to the next point. The next big update, the huge water update.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're not
So,
wrong.
can you talk a little more about that? Like what we can expect to see done to the ocean? Maybe a little more about boats or water-based mounts?
Well, you'll have deep water. Boats are going to move fast on water. Everything else is moving pretty slow.
So, will boats have a specific hotkey, kind of like mounts or mag riders?
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, cool. And I also heard from the community that there's going to be an upcoming pirate class. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
How about I'll tell you the name, and you can infer what they may or may not be able to do. They are the pirate captain, and it's related to some ideas our community has had. I'll tell you that, and we will reveal more in the relatively near future.
That definitely sounds cool. One question I had about the pirate, because when I think of a pirate, I think of somebody who uses both a gun and a sword. Is that going to be a possibility with this pirate class?
We thought about it. It's not easy to do, and it's kind of weird, and it kind of didn't work too well. So they are going to be a gun class.
Okay, well, I guess that's for the best. I mean, we only have one gun class at the moment, if I do recall correctly. So,
yeah, it will be our second gun class.
all right, cool. So that's definitely going to be an update to look forward to. It stinks that you can't give us more information, but I guess that's enough to hold us over for now.
Soon.
So let's move on to mounts and NPC sizes in particular. Will we ever see larger scale of either of them?
Yes, is the short version. So we have a decent-sized mount coming next. The Warhorse is our next mount coming out. It is really cool. I think there's a few screenshots on the forums. We've been running around with it on live, and they may get bigger from there. Boats are going to be bigger for sure than mounts are, and then we are in the planning and early stages of some bigger bosses, specifically for Shadow Dungeons and Shadow Arenas. So that is something we're pretty seriously working on, but yeah, it's not a part of a major update, so it's basically when it's done, we're going to put it up. And so I don't have a time frame for you for that yet.
All right, that will definitely be cool. Now, you mentioned bigger mounts, like the boats will be bigger. Will we be able to have a friend hop in with us?
Something else we also talked about. It sounds like fun. We may do it, but probably not at this point. We're actually looking at some other gameplay options for boats, like maybe a cannon you can shoot while you're boating around.
Okay, that definitely sounds cool. Now, you mentioned you have some bigger bosses coming too. Are we ever going to have a special event like that will require, like you said, you want to go more group-based, maybe where you have to clear every dungeon in the zone and then a world boss spawns with special loot?
Yeah, it's always possible.
All right,
Plans, but we are adding bigger bosses, so we might try some stuff out.
that will definitely be cool. Now, I know to make money off your game right now, you have the shop. People can buy credits or their starter packs. Will we ever see a type of monthly subscription model, kind of like you have in some of the other games at Trine Worlds?
So to be honest, I don't love monthly subscriptions. I think it can be really hard to evaluate the value as a player. Like, I'd much rather just put things on the store and sell them. That said, there's some cool options, and we're actually talking about some stuff that feels better to me personally. I like the idea of, so something we're kind of thinking about is a way to maybe, get a chaos chest, like one a day when you log in for the lifetime of your account. So it's something you can sort of, invest in and get, and then it pays out forever for you. So if you're someone who's really committed to the game, who plays all the time, you log in every day, it's a way to sort of upgrade your account and kind of subscribe to the game in a way that has a pretty much more clear value, right? And you don't feel like if you ever have to stop paying for it, that your game experience is just worse.
All right, yeah, that definitely sounds like some cool ideas. I hope to see more things like that. That will probably motivate like a lot of the veteran players to keep coming back, give them new things to do.
Yeah.
So I know right now we have special rewards for up to $200 in total support towards the game. Will we ever see any rewards beyond that?
There's actually up to 1,000. At 1,000 right now, you get a platinum crown.
Oh yeah, that's correct. I mean like mount-based things or things like that.
Really, maybe we'll do a mount at 1,000 at some point, or a little bit, maybe 500 or something. But really, we like doing things that are more broadly accessible. Like, I love our supporters who support us to those levels are crazy. We actually we have something we think we might do at 1,000 pretty soon. At the same time, mounts can take a lot of time for us to make, and we want to make sure that there's something that people generally think they can get to and get. So we'll see. I'm not going to say no. We're not going to do a whole lot of it, but we may do one in the future. But it's not really our focus.
All right, yeah, I understand where you're coming from there. So, moving on, I guess we'll keep talking on this line of talk. There's been a lot of talk about pay to win and things like that, and I've noticed that you've made quite a bit of changes to items that you consider like cheat items. Can you elaborate about your stance on that and things like that, just to clear the air?
Prisms in the store are probably the biggest change we've had. They used to be like 350 credits or available through qubits, and now they're 1,000 credits. And for people who aren't aware, prisms basically let you upgrade a quality level of one piece of gear, which can be pretty good. And really, it goes outside of the standard gameplay. Standard gameplay is basically, get loot, acquire something that's of a certain rarity. Magic Find increases that rarity. You generally want to get a shadow piece of equipment, and then go to the chaos board and sort of, roll until you can improve it and try to improve it. And the better a piece of gear is, the harder it is to get an upgrade of the chaos forge, and that's just because it's random. And because that's sort of like you can generally farm up eyes, which lets you cast forge at a certain fixed rate, right? Just by playing the game. Whereas the Prism basically said, well, the right way to get gear is to get something that's pretty good at a lower rarity and then upgrade it through prisms. And it sort of said, don't do this thing that's kind of incremental, getting the eyes, doing the rolls. Instead, do this other type of gameplay. And it wasn't very clear for players about kind of the most efficient way to gear up. And we want to make it very clear. There's a certain way, specifically eyes, because that's something you can sort of work at and do over time, that we felt was the standard gameplay, and it related to deconstructing equipment, and it was much more granular. So we're like, okay, prisms, it's fine. Like, if people want to sort of support us, in general, our player base, and we think it's okay if you want to buy into the game and progress faster. It's not a PvP game. There's not really a competition there, and it's a way for people to support the game. There's a lot of classes that you can gear up, so yeah, gear up a few classes. There's other ones you can do. And so prisms are a pretty clear way to sort of like skip the line and kind of cheat the system a bit. So we felt comfortable saying credits only, higher premium, and if it's something you really want to do, you can do. But it's not really the standard way to, gear up your character.
Okay, yeah, I understand. You also made it a lot easier to get those higher items if you have Magic Find. I really like the way you reworked it.
Run equipment now, decons for an extra eye. So we definitely also made that more straightforward and easier and a little more of a clear progression path.
All right, cool. So you mentioned that this isn't a PvP game. I guess the question on everybody's mind is, will there ever be PvP?
All right, here you go. I never like to say never on anything, but I will say if we ever do PvP, the way we do it is very, very, very casual. No rewards tied to performance. Any rewards there might be are tied simply to spending time doing it. And we put a lot of the tuning and the balancing in the hands of the players, as we do with everything. You'd be able to turn off classes, adjust their power level, all sorts of stuff. It's basically like Smash Brothers with all the items on, all the mods you would want, right? We're not going to do competitive PvP. We're not going to do hardcore PvP. We're not going to do official game-supported PvP. If we get to a point where we want to do arenas, they would be something where it's more of like a mini-game creator than it is really some kind of arena-based system.
All right, well, you guys heard it here. PvP may be coming, but it's not going to be, like, reward-based. So, well, I guess to fill people's need for some kind of competition, will we have, like, rankings at the end of Shadow Arenas?
Those generally result in more people being sad than people being happy, in my experience.
Yeah.
If we're going to rank people, which I don't mind occasionally ranking people, the idea I've seen, which I kind of like, is like a website or something we put together that ranks people by mastery points acquired. I wouldn't mind doing a top 100 mastery points and just seeing who can land on that list. I think that could be entertaining. And the people who are high on mastery points are generally pretty competitive people who don't mind comparing themselves against each other.
So you said that we might see a system like that. Do you think we'll also maybe see a revamp to the website, maybe a 2.0 version where we can look up like player cards or something like that, see their last used class, gear, things like that?
Yeah, what I'd rather do, and something we want to do in the future, is just expose that kind of data to our community and let them build what they want to see.
Okay,
there's a lot of people who have like database websites and stuff like that, and we'd like to just say, hey, here's some data, here's data straight out of the game, take it, format it, do whatever you want with it, and make something that people want to use. In our experience, that just ends up with better quality, creations. Like, usually people in the community have more time to iterate on it. they can figure out what's a good model to present it, how people want to see it. If they want to put ads on their site, if they want to make it work for them, that's fine too. But that's something we're more interested in doing than us creating something ourselves.
All right, yeah, that definitely sounds like some cool stuff. I know we have a lot of creative people in the community, as you can see by some of the recent things you've opened up to the community, like mountain skins. So let's talk a little about that. Will we ever see official support for like community-made mods or things like that?
Well, there is official support. I mean, you've seen several in-game already. We have a Hot Dog Hero, Fast Frank, Uberman. Those are all community-made mounts and skins. So basically the way it works, and we have this post, I'm sure you've seen it, but for everyone, there are 2 words related to the creation of these things. And there's a few caveats as well. 2 words are hype and patience. So we don't want to put something, it takes a lot of effort to put these things in game. We have to do VFX, we have to do tuning, we have to do polish. It's a lot more work than other stuff. And so if we are going to put it in game, we want to make sure the community really wants to see it in game. And then also, the creator is patient with us because it takes time. We can only do a couple a week at most. We have to iterate on it. It depends on the rest of our schedule. So really, we are going to add 4 more. We have 4 more requests out for people to give us stuff, and they should have sent it to me. I think I have it now. We'll be putting those in, and we'll go from there. So it's something we want to do. The other thing to keep in mind, and so here's the way it works, basically on the other end, which is how we reward people, creators for this stuff. And how it works. So for all community-created content, because of the model of the game, things like skins are going to be premium items. We're going to put them on the store. We're going to sell them. They are something that kind of belongs to us in a way, in that way. And that's just important for how the game functions as a whole. It sort of works as a business for us. That said, we want to make sure if you create something really cool, you feel like it was worth your time. You feel like you're a part of it, right? So we both give you a decent chunk of credits. We give you 10,000 credits. And then also 300 codes for that thing for free. You can do whatever you want with it as long as you aren't selling it yourself. You can do whatever you want with those codes. You can give them away in your streams, give them away to your friends. You can just keep them forever and be a really cool guy who gives away free things to the thing you made in Trove. Whatever you want to do with it, they are your codes, not our codes, your codes. So that's pretty fun for me. Like we gave 300 for each of the hot dog things to Blessed and Dunmeyer. Kung Fu Quickness, who made Uberman, had 300. He was doing a stream last night, just kind of gave them away to everyone in his club. And that's been pretty fun. Those guys have so many codes. Like Dunmeyer, who's one of our bigger streamers, he got back and he's like, I can't even get rid of these codes. I have them. I'm like, that's what we want. We want you to feel like you kind of have more codes for your thing than you know what to do with it.
All right, yeah, that's definitely some cool stuff. Maybe we'll see something made by me eventually if I can figure it out.
Maybe we will.
So moving on, I know a big issue for a lot of people is lag. Will we ever see additional servers for other countries? And if we do, how will this affect progress, like carryover and people being able to play with each other?
We're testing something out right now with that. It had some bugs. We turned it on. We tried it out yesterday. Basically, we turned on some servers in Amsterdam, EU. And the way it's going to work is everyone's still playing the same game. Everyone's still playing together. At some point down the line, you'll be able to flag yourself what region you're in, right? So, North America, Europe, and then if we ever have more, something else. But right now, these are the only 2 planned. Flag yourself. When you get put in an adventure world, it puts you in a world on that server. So it's sort of how we do current adventure world matchmaking, gets split up that way.
Okay, will you still be able to join like your friends in your club?
Friends, and you will know what you're getting into. You'll know what region world you're going to. So if you're like, well, you guys are playing a European world, I'm North America, you're opting into some additional latency, right? It should still work for you. Everything is connected, but they're going to have better latency, and that's just how these things work, right? But we still want to keep everyone playing the game in a single large community, and we feel like this gives you the information you need and that better experience that you want. Without splitting everyone up.
Yeah, that definitely sounds cool, and that will probably make the game a lot more accessible to new people who probably couldn't play it before, because not everybody has the greatest internet connections.
So true, sadly.
Well, we're almost done here. Just 3 more points I think we should hit. What about a trading revamp or an auction house system?
Yes, we really, really, really want to, grease the economy, make it really smooth to trade. Got some ideas. Probably not going to do a global auction house. The thing we're talking about right now is a way to sort of list personal goods and have people be able to search and filter, kind of like an auction house. Anyway, we're going to work on it. We've got some ideas. Also, next patch, we're going to expand just to do some sort of lighter things before we can get to this. We're going to expand the number of people we put in trade channels. Right now it's 70. We're going to increase that to 120. So there should be more activity in trade channels. It's not a perfect solution. We definitely want to do more. But it's a stopgap that can get a little more trade going in the meantime.
Yeah, that will definitely be good. I look forward to those changes as somebody who has quite a few items. Most of the time I just end up giving them away anyways.
Yeah. No, the economy in our game is a big deal, and it's very important to us and very important to Trove.
All right, cool. So I saved this one for one of the last things we hit because I know it's your favorite. Let's talk about the fishing profession.
Oh, it is my favorite. So we're doing an update next, as you know, as we talked about. And fish are found in water. So, yeah, that's what I have to say on that right now. We will say more about that, like the pirate class, like the pirate captain. We will be saying more on this in the future. It's in the design stage right now. We're about to start implementing pieces of it. And I'm almost hesitant to talk until we've got some things in-game on it. We're getting started on it. It's planned for the next big update, and we'll talk more about that pretty soon.
Okay. Well, I guess to wrap it all up here, is there anything you want to say about the future of the game or just to tell people?
Oh, fantastic question. Well, what do we got? I am excited personally about dancing. We've got some new emotes in the game. I don't know if people necessarily know that. We put out this giant patch, and they were in there. You can wave now. You can sleep. But dancing is going to be the thing, and that should go out next week or two, basically. And it's really fun. Like just things like this that bring life to the game are personally very exciting, and I'm pretty hyped about it.
All right, yeah, that definitely sounds cool. I can't wait to see that. I know I was enjoying some of the new emotes we have, and I can't wait to see more of those in the future. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, other thing, Shadow Dungeons. Player-made Shadow Dungeons are coming. We had our mods make one. Katoriani gave us one today. And so if there's any creators out there, look for that really soon. I'm really excited about having our players make some of those. And I want to start spreading the word and getting people who might be interested, aware that we're going to start accepting Shadow Dungeons very soon. So,
okay.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, cool.
Anything
you guys
else?
heard it here. Submit your Shadow Dungeons so that way we can get more of those. Anyways, Avarem, it's been great talking to you as always, and thank you for your time.
We should do this again before another year is up, That's a long time.
Yeah, I know. We went from alpha to beta, I guess we'll see.
Do it again?
Yeah, if you keep releasing awesome giant updates like this, then we'll definitely have to again soon.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, cool. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright guys, and that was the interview with Avarem. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, remember to like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Comment down below about anything you thought or questions you may have wanted to ask and just your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe for the latest and greatest content. And if you think a friend would enjoy it, share with them or add it to your favorites because both of those things help me to grow. Definitely check out the link down in the description for your free instant access to Trove. As you can hear, many great things are coming, and it's really been amazing what they've been able to add in the past year. But yeah, that was it, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, this has been Icy, and until next time, you all stay awesome. Peace!